Learning Goals. Welcome to this learning session on crop production, principles, stages, and practices. In this course, we shall address introduction and importance of crops, benefits, trade, and uses of crops, methods of crop classification, key principles of crop production stages, planning to harvest. Introduction to crop production. This section introduces the fundamental concepts of crop production, covering the definition, importance, and various classification methods of crops. Understanding these basics is crucial for distinguishing between different plant types and appreciating their role in agriculture. The course will then delve into the core principles, practices, and techniques that govern successful crop cultivation. These guidelines are designed to ensure optimal yields, high-quality produce, and sustainable farming methods. Finally, we will explore the systematic stages of crop production, from initial soil preparation to harvesting, along with related practical activities. This comprehensive approach aims to equip learners with the knowledge and skills needed for efficient and environmentally responsible farming. Meaning and importance of crops. Crops are plants specifically cultivated or grown for various human purposes, including food, fiber, medicinal uses, or ornamental value. They represent a cornerstone of agriculture, forming the essential foundation of our global food supply and supporting diverse industries. The economic importance of crops is immense, contributing significantly to national and global economies by generating income and employment opportunities. Crop production and trade create millions of jobs worldwide, spanning farming, processing, transportation, and marketing sectors. For instance, the global agricultural market was valued at over $11 trillion in 2023. Crops also serve as a vital lifeline for many rural communities, particularly in developing countries, by providing livelihoods for farmers and their families, helping to alleviate poverty and promote rural development. Crop cultivation supports rural economies, alleviates poverty, and improves living standards through income-generating activities. Environmental benefits of crops. Beyond economic and social benefits, crops offer significant environmental advantages. Certain crops, notably legumes like beans and peas, enhance soil fertility through a process called nitrogen fixation. This natural process converts atmospheric nitrogen into a usable form for plants, reducing the need for synthetic fertilizers and promoting healthier soil ecosystems. Crops also play a crucial role in mitigating climate change through carbon sequestration. Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during photosynthesis, storing carbon in their biomass and in the soil. This process helps to reduce greenhouse gas concentrations, contributing to a more stable climate. Furthermore, crop cultivation practices such as agroforestry and mixed cropping systems contribute to biodiversity conservation and ecosystem resilience. Agroforestry, which integrates trees and shrubs with crops and livestock, can increase habitat for wildlife and improve soil health, demonstrating a holistic approach to sustainable land use. Global trade and industrial uses. Crops are extensively traded globally, fostering international relations and economic exchange between countries. Nations often specialize in producing specific crops based on their unique climatic conditions, available resources, and agricultural expertise. This global interdependence ensures a wider variety of crops are available to consumers year-round, enhancing food availability and promoting trade. For example, Brazil is a leading exporter of coffee and soybeans, while the United States is a major exporter of corn and wheat. Many crops serve as essential raw materials for a wide array of industries beyond food production. These industrial crops are crucial for sectors such as textiles, pharmaceuticals, biofuels, cosmetics, and construction. Their cultivation supports manufacturing processes worldwide. Examples of industrial crops include cotton, which is a primary source for the textile industry, and sugarcane, widely used for ethanol production as a biofuel. Oilseeds like palm and sunflower are processed into oils for cooking, cosmetics, and increasingly for biodiesel, highlighting their versatility and economic impact. Crops are classified by origin as either native or introduced. Understanding a crop's origin helps explain its adaptability and historical importance. Crops can be classified based on their origin, distinguishing between those native to a region and those introduced from elsewhere. Understanding a crop's origin provides insight into its adaptability and historical significance. Indigenous crops are native to a particular region or country, having evolved and been cultivated by local communities over many generations. These crops are typically well adapted to the local environment and often hold deep cultural and historical significance. Examples include cassava, okra, plantain, millet, and sorghum, which have been staples in various African regions for centuries. Exotic crops, also known as introduced or non-native crops, are those brought into a region from other parts of the world. They are usually introduced for their economic value, to create new agricultural opportunities, or for specific purposes. Common examples include cabbage, carrot, lettuce, apples, and cashews, which are now widely grown in many regions far from their original native habitats. Crop classification. Growth cycle. Crops can also be classified based on their growth cycle, which refers to the length of time they take to complete their life cycle. This classification helps farmers plan planting and harvesting schedules effectively. Annual crops complete their entire life cycle within a single year or growing season, from germination to seed production and death. They are typically sown, grown, reproduced, and harvested within a few months. Common examples include maize, corn, wheat, rice, and most vegetables, which are crucial for seasonal food production. Biennial crops have a life cycle that spans 2 years. In the first year, they primarily grow vegetatively, developing roots, stems, and leaves. In the second year, they flower, produce seeds, and then die. While some biennial vegetables, like carrots and onions, are often harvested in their first year for their edible parts, they would produce seeds in the second year if left to grow. Perennial crops have a life cycle of more than 2 years, continuing to grow and produce for several years once established. These crops often have deep root systems, making them resilient and valuable for long-term agricultural planning. Examples include cocoa, citrus fruits, cashew, mango, avocado, and coffee, which provide sustained yields over many seasons. Crop classification. Botanical families. Botanical classification groups crops based on their scientific family, reflecting shared genetic characteristics and evolutionary relationships. This helps in understanding plant physiology, pest susceptibility, and cultivation requirements. The Poaceae family, commonly known as grasses, includes many of the world's most important cereal crops. This family is characterized by hollow stems, narrow leaves, and flowers typically arranged in spikelets. Key examples are wheat, rice, corn, maize, barley, and oats, which collectively provide a significant portion of global caloric intake. Solanaceae, or the nightshade family, comprises crops known for their diverse edible fruits and tubers, though some members can be toxic. Important food crops in this family include tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, and eggplants. These plants often share similar growth habits and nutrient requirements. Leguminosa, also known as Fabaceae or the legume family, is distinguished by its ability to form symbiotic relationships with nitrogen-fixing bacteria in their root nodules. This family includes beans, peas, lentils, soybeans, and peanuts, which are vital sources of protein and contribute to soil fertility. Other significant botanical families include Rosaceae, the rose family, which encompasses many popular fruits like apples, pears, cherries, and strawberries. The Brassicaceae family, or mustard family, includes cruciferous vegetables such as cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and kale, known for their distinct flavors and nutritional value. Crop classification uses. Crops are also classified based on their primary uses, reflecting their diverse roles in human society and industry. This functional classification helps in understanding agricultural markets and resource allocation. Food crops are cultivated primarily for human consumption and form the basis of our daily diets. This category includes a vast array of produce such as grains, wheat, rice, maize, fruits, apples, bananas, vegetables, tomatoes, carrots, legumes, beans, lentils, and oilseeds, soybeans, sunflower seeds. These crops provide essential nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. Cash crops are grown specifically for commercial purposes, intended for sale rather than personal consumption. They are often cultivated on a large scale and contribute significantly to agricultural economies. Examples include cotton, tobacco, coffee, tea, and cocoa, which are traded globally and generate substantial revenue. Industrial crops are cultivated for non-food purposes, serving as raw materials for various manufacturing industries. These include cotton for textiles, rubber trees for latex production, flax for linen, and sugarcane for ethanol production. The global biofuel market, largely driven by industrial crops, is projected to reach over $200 billion by 2030. Other important categories include feed crops, grown as animal feed for livestock and poultry, e.g., corn, soybeans, alfalfa, horticultural crops, which encompass fruits, vegetables, and ornamental plants for aesthetic or food purposes, e.g., citrus, mango, royal palm, and medicinal crops cultivated for their therapeutic properties in drug production or herbal remedies, e.g., aloe vera, ginseng. Principles of crop production overview. The principles of crop production represent the fundamental guidelines and scientific concepts that steer the practices and decision-making processes in cultivating crops. These principles are essential for achieving optimal yields, ensuring high crop quality, and promoting long-term agricultural sustainability. These principles encompass a broad range of agricultural sciences, including crop physiology, soil science, and geology. They are guided by the disciplines of agronomy, horticulture, and agricultural engineering, providing a holistic framework for effective farming. Adhering to these principles helps farmers make informed decisions that enhance productivity while minimizing environmental impact. Ultimately, understanding and applying these principles is vital for the economy, food security, and sustainable development of any country. They provide the roadmap for managing crops from the initial stages of soil preparation through to harvest, ensuring that farming practices are both productive and environmentally responsible. Key principles: management and selection. Effective crop production begins with careful crop selection, which is crucial for successful outcomes. Farmers must consider factors such as local climate, soil type, water availability, market demand, and resistance to common pests and diseases when choosing crop species and varieties. Selecting the right crop can significantly reduce risks and improve profitability. For example, drought-resistant varieties are essential in arid regions. Proper soil management is the bedrock of healthy crop production, ensuring optimal fertility, structure, and nutrient content. Techniques like regular soil testing, adding organic matter, implementing crop rotation, and employing erosion control measures are vital for maintaining long-term soil health and productivity. Healthy soil can retain more water and nutrients, supporting robust plant growth. Nutrient management is equally critical, involving a precise understanding of a crop's specific nutrient requirements. This entails applying fertilizers or organic amendments judiciously based on soil nutrient levels and crop uptake rates, with appropriate timing and application methods. Over-fertilization can lead to environmental pollution, while under-fertilization can stunt growth. Efficient water management practices are designed to conserve water, minimize waste, and provide adequate moisture to crops throughout their growth stages. Techniques such as irrigation scheduling, precision irrigation, e.g., drip irrigation, and water-saving technologies are employed to optimize water use, especially in regions facing water scarcity. Globally, agriculture accounts for about 70% of freshwater withdrawals. Key principles: protection and sustainability. Protecting crops from pests and diseases is paramount to preventing significant yield losses. Integrated pest management (IPM) strategies are employed to control pests and diseases while minimizing environmental impact. IPM combines cultural practices, biological control, the use of resistant crop varieties, and the judicious application of pesticides only when necessary, reducing reliance on chemical interventions. Weed management is another critical principle, as weeds compete with crops for vital resources like nutrients, water, and sunlight, thereby reducing yields. Effective weed control involves a combination of cultural practices such as crop rotation and tillage, mechanical methods like hand weeding and mowing, and chemical control using herbicides when appropriate. This multi-pronged approach helps suppress weed growth and prevent seed production. Adopting climate-smart agricultural practices is increasingly vital as climate change impacts agriculture globally. These practices focus on enhancing crop resilience to extreme weather events, improving resource efficiency, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Examples include conservation agriculture, agroforestry, and precision farming, which help adapt to and mitigate climate change effects. Regular monitoring and meticulous record keeping are essential for timely interventions and informed decision-making in crop production. Maintaining detailed records of inputs, e.g., fertilizers, pesticides, yields, and observations, helps farmers track performance, assess profitability, and identify areas for improvement. Digital farming tools are increasingly used to streamline this process, providing data-driven insights. Stage 1. Pre-planting. Site selection. The pre-planting stage is critical and involves all activities undertaken before sowing or planting crops, beginning with meticulous site selection. Choosing the most suitable location significantly impacts crop success and productivity. Key factors for site selection include climate and weather conditions. Farmers must consider the temperature range and fluctuations throughout the growing season, as different crops have specific optimal temperature requirements. Evaluating average rainfall patterns, water sources, and irrigation potential is also crucial to ensure sufficient moisture for crop needs. For example, maize requires at least 500 to 800 millimeters of rainfall during its growing season. Soil characteristics are another vital consideration. Assessing soil type and texture, e.g. sandy, loamy, clay, helps understand its drainage capacity, water holding ability, and nutrient retention. Evaluating soil fertility, including organic matter, nutrient levels, and pH, directly influences crop growth and yield potential. Soil depth is also important to support proper root development and nutrient absorption. Topography and drainage play a significant role. The slope and elevation of the land affect water drainage, erosion potential, and suitability for mechanized farming. Avoiding areas prone to waterlogging or rapid drying is essential. Adequate sunlight exposure is also necessary for photosynthesis, so areas with excessive shading should be avoided. Finally, access to infrastructure and services, such as proximity to markets, availability of utilities, water, electricity, and transportation networks, is crucial for efficient operations. Historical pest and disease incidents in the area, along with legal and regulatory considerations like zoning, must also be evaluated to mitigate risks and ensure compliance. Land preparation is a crucial step in the pre-planting stage. It sets the foundation for successful crop growth and yield. Following site selection, land preparation is the next crucial step in the pre-planting stage. This involves clearing the land of existing vegetation, rocks, or debris, followed by ploughing to loosen the soil, facilitate root penetration, and improve water infiltration and nutrient distribution. Harrowing then breaks up soil lumps, levels the field, and creates a fine seed bed, which is essential for uniform seed germination. Soil testing and analysis are vital for understanding the soil's current state. Soil samples are tested to determine nutrient content, pH level, organic matter content, and other relevant factors. Interpreting these results allows farmers to identify nutrient deficiencies or imbalances and determine corrective actions, such as applying specific amendments. For instance, a pH test might indicate the need for lime to raise acidity or sulfur to lower it. Seed selection and treatment are also critical. Choosing suitable crop varieties based on yield potential, disease resistance, climate adaptability, and market demand is paramount. Farmers should opt for certified, high-quality seeds that have undergone testing. Seed treatment involves cleaning to remove debris, priming to enhance germination, and coating with fungicides or insecticides to protect against early pests and diseases. Field planning involves determining the crop rotation sequence to optimize nutrient utilization, manage pests, and improve soil health over successive seasons. Planning the field layout and spacing of crops maximizes productivity and eases cultivation. Irrigation planning assesses water availability and designs appropriate systems like sprinkler or drip irrigation. Finally, procuring necessary farming equipment and arranging for fertilizers and other inputs based on soil test results completes the pre-planting preparations. Stage 2. Planting stage. The planting stage involves the actual sowing of seeds or transplanting of seedlings into the prepared field. The choice of sowing method depends on the crop type and farm scale. Common sowing methods include broadcasting, where seeds are uniformly spread across the field either by hand or machinery, which is often used for forage crops. Drilling involves placing seeds at a specific depth and spacing using a seed drill, ensuring precise placement for optimal growth. Transplanting involves transferring seedlings from nursery beds to the main field, a common practice for vegetables like tomatoes and cabbage. Direct seeding, where seeds are sown directly into the field without prior nursery preparation, is also used for certain crops. Proper spacing and depth are crucial to allow for adequate growth and development of each plant, preventing overcrowding and competition for resources. Providing sufficient moisture through watering or irrigation is essential to aid seed germination and support the establishment of transplanted seedlings. This may involve initial watering of the field or using techniques like sprinkler or drip irrigation. Fertilizer application during the planting stage is based on soil test recommendations or crop-specific requirements. Fertilizers can be applied at the time of planting, known as basal application, or as a top dressing later during the crop's growth to provide additional nutrients. For example, phosphorus is often applied at planting to support root development. Stage 3. Post-planting and harvest. The post-planting stage encompasses all activities performed after crops have been planted or transplanted, focusing on nurturing growth and protecting the plants. Weed control is paramount during this stage to prevent competition for resources, which can significantly reduce crop yields. Methods include manual weeding, mechanical cultivation using tools like hoes, mulching to suppress weed growth, or targeted herbicide application. Effective weed management can increase yields by 10 to 25% in many crops. Pest and disease management involves continuous monitoring of crops for infestations and taking appropriate measures for control. This includes implementing integrated pest management (IPM) strategies, scouting for pests, and applying pesticides or biocontrol agents when necessary. Early detection is key to preventing widespread damage. Regular crop monitoring and care involve inspecting plants for growth, health, and any signs of stress, such as nutrient deficiencies or water stress. This also includes ensuring proper plant support, e.g. staking for tomatoes, and taking corrective actions to address any growth issues promptly. Consistent care ensures optimal development. Finally, harvest preparation begins as crops near maturity, involving arranging necessary equipment, labor, and storage facilities. Proper timing of harvest is crucial to maximize yield and quality, as harvesting too early or too late can reduce market value. Post-harvest handling, including cleaning, sorting, grading, packaging, and storage, is vital to maintain quality and prevent spoilage.
Summary. Well done. You have completed the course, Crop Production, Principles, Stages, and Practices. You should now be familiar with Introduction and Importance of Crops, Benefits, Trade, and Uses of Crops, Methods of Crop Classification, Key Principles of Crop Production, Crop Production Stages, Planning to Harvest. Should you need to revisit any of the topics in this course, please use the menu at the bottom of the screen.